I'm Stacy Benson, a kindergarten teacher here at Blackman.
I'm Katrina Earls. I'm a first grade teacher here at Blackman Elementary.
We're going to talk to you today about reading with your child at home. The first thing we want to talk to you about is choosing the right book. So we have a 5-finger rule that we go by here for choosing the right book. And you want to be kind of like Goldilocks. You don't want the book to be too hard or too easy. You want the book to be just right. So whenever your child's looking through the book, you want them to see if there's one word that is too difficult, then that's an okay book. If there's 2 words that are too difficult, it's still okay. If there's 3 to 4, maybe even 5 words on the page that are too hard, especially at the kindergarten level, that's probably going to be a book that's going to be too difficult for your child to read independently. So open up the book, take a picture walk through the book, and have your child explore the words in the book to see if it's a just right fit for your child. You don't want your child to become frustrated, especially whenever they're an emergent reader. And the next thing you want to do whenever you're reading with your child at home is you want to ask just the right questions. You don't want to wait until the end of the story to ask the questions. You want to ask questions at the beginning of the story, in the middle of the story, and at the end, because you want to engage your child so they're thinking throughout the story. Some questions to ask before the story would be, what do you think will happen in the story? What might be the problem in the story? What does the story make you think of? Then you're going to start reading, and after you've read a little bit through the book, during the reading you could ask, what do you think will happen next? What can you tell me about the story so far? How do you feel about the story so far? What would you have done if you were a character in the story? Then as you complete the book, you want to ask some more questions just to check for comprehension. What was the title of the story? What was the problem and the solution in the story? What was your favorite part? What would you have happened next if you were the author of the story? So you want to engage the reader throughout the story, asking comprehension questions just to ensure that they're not just word calling as they're reading or as you're reading to them, but that they're really listening for comprehension.
The same thing is going to carry over into the first grade. We also do a 5-finger. This is a 5-finger retell. So as you're reading with your child, we remind them that 5 fingers of 5 things you need to look for: character, setting of the story, the beginning of the story, what's happening, the middle of the story, what's happening, and what's happening at the end of the story. And that will give them a good understanding to pay attention to the sequence of events throughout the story. Also, when you are reading with your child, you want to remember to encourage your child to sound out the words. Be very patient with them. Let them struggle through a little bit and sound out the words. And don't just immediately give that to them. And then talk about the book with your child as they tell you the 5-finger retell, as they tell you things they may have noticed in the story. 2 examples of some books that are good fit for first graders. We start sometimes with the level 1 books. You can find these at Walmart. I have found them at the Goodwill before. Level 1 books are a lot of sight word books. And so if your child is a good understanding of sight words, these are very good books to start with. And then you can transition to the level 2 books, which get a little more complex, but it helps your child build their encouragement in reading, their stamina.
Thank you for watching today. Be sure to check back because there's other videos that other teachers are going to put up